Have you ever dreamed of visiting a place before you even knew what it truly looked like? A place that feels familiar, even if you've never been there? For millions of people around the world, that place is America, the United States of America. A name that doesn't just describe a country, stirs something deeper, a feeling, a hope, a dream. It's the idea of standing at the edge of something bigger than yourself, of arriving in a land where anything feels possible, where stories begin, and sometimes where they're rewritten. They call it the American dream. But what is it? Really, is it just the bright lights of Times Square? It's the Hollywood sign? Shining on a hill? The stars and stripes waving in the wind? Or is it something more? For some, it's walking into a diner late at night, sipping hot coffee with strangers who treat you like friends. For others, it's the wide-open road, the endless highways that stretch beyond the horizon. It's freedom, not just political, but personal. The freedom to become whoever you want to be. People don't just come to America to take photos. They come to feel something they can't explain, to find a piece of themselves. Has been waiting for the right place to wake up. Because America isn't just a country full of states. It's a canvas full of stories. It's a mirror that reflects not just who we are, but who we might become. From the outside, it can look loud, overwhelming, even chaotic. But step inside. You'll find a quiet moment that changes you. Maybe it's standing in silence at the foot of the Grand Canyon. Maybe it's a stranger giving you directions with a smile like they've known you forever. Maybe it's the first time you hear someone say, "Welcome to America," and you realize they mean it. People want to visit the USA because they've felt it, long before they've ever set foot on its soil. Through movies, music, stories, and dreams, America becomes a symbol, a promise, not a perfect one, but a powerful one. And that's the magic. It's not about perfection, it's about potential. The American dream isn't the same for everyone. For some, it's about opportunity. For others, it's about escape. For many, it's simply about hope. Hope that somewhere out there, in this vast and complicated land, there's a moment waiting. A spark, a sunrise, a street corner that feels like it was made just for them. And maybe, just maybe, for you too. So when you hear people talk about visiting America, understand. They're not just chasing a destination. They're chasing a feeling, a dream, an idea that somewhere beyond the borders of what they know, there's something worth discovering. And it might just change everything. When people say America, they often picture just one thing. Maybe it's the skyline of New York. Maybe it's the palm trees of California or the deserts of the West. But the truth is, that picture, it's incomplete. Because America isn't one place, it's 50. 50 states. 50 different rhythms. 50 completely different worlds. All living under one flag. You could spend a lifetime traveling through the United States and still not see it all. Because here's what most people don't realize. This country is a continent in disguise. It stretches across 6 time zones. It holds every season, every landscape, every kind of culture you can imagine. And no 2 states feel the same. Step into Alaska, and you're in the raw, untouched wild. Snow-capped mountains, northern lights, bears roaming freely. Fly down to Florida, and you're met with beaches, theme parks, swaying palm trees, and the warm kiss of humidity. Drive through Texas, and you'll pass cowboys, oil fields, massive skies, and a culture so unique it feels like its own nation in Hawaii. The air smells like flowers and salt water, and the ground rumbles with volcanic power. In Vermont, autumn looks like a postcard, red and orange leaves drifting down quiet streets. Then there's Nevada, with its wild deserts and glowing casinos. Michigan, where lakes look like oceans. Louisiana, where jazz floats through the air like magic. Montana, where the sky is so wide it humbles you. And in between all that, 1,000 small towns, 1 million hidden gems, places that never show up in movies but steal your heart anyway. This is what makes America so fascinating. Not just the size, but the contrast. You can go from surfing in the morning to skiing by night, can stand in the middle of a silent forest one day, the next day, get lost in the chaos of a giant city that never sleeps. It's a place where cultures collide and blend, where every corner brings a different accent, different food, different way of life. You can drive for just a few hours and feel like you've crossed into another world. This is why travelers fall in love with the USA, because every journey feels brand new. It's not just sightseeing, it's time travel. It's culture hopping, it's story collecting one day. You're eating deep dish pizza in Chicago, the next day you're listening to live blues in Mississippi. Then you're walking through a forest of redwood trees that have stood longer than most countries have existed. And here's the beauty in all of it. No matter who you are or where you're from, there's a part of America that will feel like home, and another part that will shake up everything you thought you knew. Because America teaches you one powerful lesson: there is no single way to live, no single dream, no single definition of what a place should be. It's a country made up of contradictions, and somehow they all fit. This land invites you to explore, to question, to wonder. It dares you to step out of your comfort zone. Okay. And when you do, it rewards you. So if you ever feel stuck, if you ever feel like the world is too small, remember, there's a place out there that holds 50 different worlds waiting for you to walk through them, one by one, state by state, story by story. So, you've decided to visit America. But now the big question hits you: where do you even start? It's a huge country, thousands of cities, millions of roads, and every corner whispers, "Come see me." That's the thing about the United States. It's not one simple destination. It's a giant living map of possibilities, and you can't see everything all at once. You have to choose a path, a direction, a story. So today, I'll take you through 5 unforgettable travel routes, each one powerful, each one life-changing. Whether you want big cities, quiet nature, or something in between, these routes aren't just trips. They're experiences, the kind you carry in your heart long after you've come home. Let's begin. 1. The Great American Road Trip. Route 66, there's something deeply romantic about the open road. Wind in your hair, endless highways, no timeline, no rules. You and the journey. And Route 66. It's the soul of all American road trips, starting in Chicago and ending in Santa Monica. California, this historic route stretches over 2,400 miles. Cutting through 8 states and decades of history, you'll pass diners frozen in time, neon motel signs that glow like memories, desert skies that feel like you're on another planet. From the plains of Oklahoma to the red rocks of Arizona, this drive teaches you something no book ever can. Sometimes the best part of a trip isn't where you're going, it's everything in between. If you want freedom, nostalgia, and raw beauty, this is your road point too. The Pacific Coast Highway, California's dream drive now. Imagine this: the ocean beside you, cliffs below you, and a ribbon of road stretching like a dream across the coast. Welcome to the Pacific Coast Highway. It's also known as Highway 1. Starting from San Francisco and heading down to Los Angeles, this drive is pure magic. You'll pass through the misty forests of Big Sur, where the trees are older than memory. You'll stop at tiny coastal towns with fresh seafood, peaceful beaches, and sunsets that feel almost unreal. And finally, you'll arrive in Los Angeles, where Hollywood meets endless sunshine. But this trip isn't about rushing. It's about soaking in the silence, the salt in the air, the slow rhythm of the coast. It's where nature and city blend, in a way that feels effortless. If your soul craves beauty, this is your highway. 3. The national parks. Circuit nature that changes you sometimes. Cities can't give you what you're looking for. Sometimes you just need space, silence, sky, and that's when the national parks route calls your name. This route can start in Las Vegas, a place full of noise and light, and quickly shift into something much deeper. In just a few days, drive, you can reach Zion National Park, with its towering cliffs and hidden rivers, Bryce Canyon, where the rocks look like frozen flames. Arches, where natural stone bridges stretch like artwork. Grand Canyon so massive, it almost doesn't feel real. This isn't just sightseeing, soul-seeing. It's the kind of quiet that reaches deep inside you and reminds you how small we are and yet how much wonder we're capable of feeling. If you need to reconnect with yourself, this is your route point 4, the East Coast Journey cities. History and culture. Let's say you want something more fast-paced. Something with energy, stories, culture, history packed into every step. Then take the East Coast Journey. Start in Boston, where cobblestone streets whisper the birth of a nation. Then head to New York City, a place that doesn't just move. Pulses, skyscrapers, Central Park, pizza on every corner, people from every country, all walking the same streets. It's overwhelming and unforgettable. From there, go down to Philadelphia, home of liberty, cheesesteaks, and grit. Then on to Washington, D.C., where monuments stand tall and museums tell the truth of a nation's past. This route isn't just about places, it's about stories. It's where history becomes real. Modern life moves at full speed. If you love culture, learning, layers, this route will feed your mind and heart. 5. The Deep South Trail Soul. It's music and hidden magic now, for something completely different. The Deep South isn't always on top travel lists, but it should be, because this region has soul. Start in Nashville, Tennessee, where music is life and every bar has a story. Then head to Memphis, where the blues were born and Elvis found his voice. From there, roll into New Orleans, a city like no other. Jazz in the streets, balconies dripping with color, food that warms your bones, people who live every day like a celebration. The South is about feeling. It's about heartache, history, and healing. It's about finding joy in the simple things. A song, a meal, a porch swing at sunset. If you want something different, something real, you've landed in America. For you. Your suitcase is rolling behind you, your heart's racing a little, and suddenly, you feel like you've just stepped onto a different planet. Not in a bad way. It's different, strange, surprising, kind of beautiful. Actually, because here's the thing about traveling to the United States. It doesn't just show you a new place. It shows you a new rhythm of life. And no matter where you're from, there will be moments when you pause and think, wait, is this normal here? Yes, it is. And that's where the culture shock begins. Let's talk about it, the beautiful, bizarre, and the things no one really prepares you for until you're living it. 1. The smiles, small talk, the unexpected friendliness. In America, people will smile at you all the time. Strangers, in elevators, on sidewalks, at gas stations. Not because they know you, not because they want anything, just because they'll say things like, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, what's up?" Even when they're not expecting an answer. At first it might feel weird, forced even, but after a while, it starts to feel warm, comforting, like the world is just a little softer around the edges. This small talk, it's not meaningless. It's a way of making space feel safe, and suddenly, you might find yourself smiling back, without even realizing it. Point 2. The portion sizes. Is this meal for 5 people? Or just me? Let's talk food. 'Cause in America, everything is big. You order a soda, and they hand you a cup the size of your head. You ask for pancakes, and suddenly, there are 5 stacked high with butter melting down the sides. You get a burger, and the fries come in a mountain, not a side. It's generous. But it can be overwhelming, and the best part, nobody will judge you if you don't finish it. Leftovers are normal. In fact, you'll almost always hear, "Would you like a to-go box?" Take it. It's part of the experience. 3. Tipping. Not optional, it's the culture now. Here's something that truly surprises many first-time travelers. Tipping is not just polite. It's expected. In restaurants, bars, taxis, even for haircuts. Tipping is how many workers actually earn their living. A standard tip is around 15% to 20% of the bill. And yes, it can feel strange. especially if you come from a place where tipping isn't common. But in the US, it's built into the system. People rely on it. It's not just kindness, it's survival. So tip generously. Not because you have to, but because it's how respect is shown here for. The flags everywhere. All the time you'll notice it, right? Way American flags in front of houses, on porches, schools, parks, even on socks and T-dash shirts. To some, it might seem like overkill. To others, it's patriotism. But to Americans, it's identity. The flag isn't just a symbol of government, it's personal. It represents their stories, their struggles, their pride, even when they don't agree with everything happening around them. And in a country this large and diverse, sometimes a shared symbol is the thread that holds it all together. 5. Everything. Is a drive away you might think you'll walk everywhere? Until you realize. America was built for cars. Outside a few big cities like New York or San Francisco, public transportation is limited. Sidewalks can vanish without warning. Even the grocery store might be a 15-minute drive. And so the car becomes a kind of companion, a mobile home, a playlist machine. A part of the journey. Road trips aren't just a vacation idea here. They're part of the culture. So don't be surprised if someone says it's just down the road and it turns out to be 30 miles away. That's just America. 6. Customer service almost too friendly? Walk into a store and someone will greet you instantly. Hi, how can I help you today? Sometimes they'll walk around with you, offer suggestions, chat about their day. And you might think, is this too much? But here's the truth. Service culture in the US is strong. It's built on friendliness, on connection, on making you feel seen. And yes, sometimes it's also tied to tips or commission, but often it's just part of the energy of being. Helpful. It can take time to get used to, but eventually you start appreciating it because feeling welcome, that never gets old. 7. Diversity that feels like the whole world in one country. This might be the most beautiful shock of all. In one city, you might hear 5 languages in a single afternoon. Taste food from 10 different countries. See faces. Fashion. Cultures from across the globe. America is diverse in a way that's hard to describe until you live it. It's not perfect. There are tensions, there are struggles, but in most places, difference is not feared. It's celebrated. You walk down a street and you're reminded the world isn't just somewhere far away. It's right here, in front of you, next to you, smiling at you. Some places you visit and then forget. At some places, some moments they stay. Forever. Traveling through the USA isn't just about the photos you take. It's about the feelings you didn't expect. The small, quiet experiences that grab your heart and never let go. Because in between the famous landmarks, the highways, and the fast food joints, America offers something else. Moments. Moments that live inside you. Moments that change the way you see the world and yourself. Let me take you there. 1. Watching the sunrise in Monument Valley. You wake up before the sun. It's cold, quiet. The sky is still dark, not black, but that deep blue before morning begins. And then the first light touches those massive red rocks. You stand in the middle of Monument Valley, surrounded by silence that feels sacred. The land feels ancient, like it remembers everything. You don't speak, you just breathe. And somewhere deep inside you, something softens, something stirs. It's not just a sunrise. It's a feeling of being small, and yet somehow infinite too. Hearing gospel in a southern church, you didn't plan to go. Maybe a local invited you. You walk in, it's just a small building, simple, humble. But the moment the choir sings, everything changes. Voices rise. Hands clap, and the sound fills the room like light. You don't know the words, but somehow you feel everyone joy, pain, hope, power. And in that moment, you realize this isn't just music. It's medicine for the soul. You walk out different than you walked in point 3, seeing the New York city skyline for the first time you have seen it in movies, posters, TV, shows. You've imagined it 1,000 times. But then, as you really see it, the towers, the bridges, the endless energy rising from the ground up, and your heart just stops. You're not sure why you're emotional. Maybe it's the size, the history, the dream. Maybe it's the millions of people who came here chasing a better life, and the part of you that's chasing something too. You take a breath. You whisper, "Wow." And that's all you can say for. Laughing with strangers at a roadside diner, it's late. You're tired, hungry. You pull into a small town. A neon sign says open 24 hours. Inside, the walls are old. The waitress calls. You hun. The coffee is strong. And someone cracks a joke from the next booth over. You laugh. They laugh. And just like that, you're part of something. It's not glamorous, but it's real. And sometimes those are the best moments of all, the ones that remind you we're all just humans trying to make it through the night together. 5. Driving alone through a national park, no music, no signal. It's just you, the road, and the wild trees that go on forever. Mountains that feel like they're watching you, lakes that mirror the sky. You stop the car, step out, and suddenly the world is still. You hear birds, wind, your own heartbeat. In that stillness, you remember something. You're alive. You're free. In this world, it's bigger and more beautiful than you ever imagined. 6. Feeling. Included at a festival you didn't expect, maybe you stumbled into it. A street fair. A local parade. Cultural festival. You don't know the language. You don't understand the tradition. But someone offers you food. Someone pulls you into a dance. Someone smiles at you like you've always belonged. In that moment, you realize something powerful. Home isn't always a place. Sometimes it's a feeling. And in that small American town, among strangers who feel like friends, you feel it. 7. Seeing the stars over the desert, far from the cities, far from everything. You look up. There they are. Stars. Not a few. Thousands. Millions. You forget what silence really sounds like until you hear it in the desert. You forget how dark the night can be, and how bright it becomes when the stars show up. You stand there under a sky so wide, it swallows your worries, and all you can think is, I will remember this for the rest of my life. These are the moments that stain out the souvenirs, not the perfect Instagram posts. The check marks on your travel list, but these quiet, powerful, unexpected moments where your heart opens and something shifts. These are the moments that change you. Moments you'll carry home. Moments you'll tell stories about, not because they were impressive, but because they were real. So when you travel through the USA, don't just chase the big things. Watch for the little ones, because those are the ones that stay forever. Before you book the flight, before you pack your bags, before the adventure begins, there's something you need to hear, because traveling through the USA, it's exciting, it's beautiful, it's unforgettable, but it's also different. And the more you know before you go, the smoother, deeper, and more magical your journey will be. So let's talk about the practical magic, little things that can make a big difference. 1. The size is no joke first. Let's talk distance. America isn't just big, it's massive. Driving from New York to Los Angeles, that's over 4,500 kilometers. That's like going across all of Europe. And still having more road ahead. Don't try to see it all in one trip. Instead, focus on one region at a time. The Northeast, the West Coast, the South, the Midwest. Each is its own world. Slow down, savor it. The magic lives in the details too. Transportation is freedom, but also a puzzle. Public transportation. It exists, but not everywhere. Big cities like New York, Chicago, and San Francisco have good train and bus systems. But once you step into smaller towns or rural areas, you're on your own if you want to explore freely. Renting a car is often the best choice. Yes, driving can be intimidating at first. Different rules. Wide roads, speed limits in miles, not kilometers. But once you get the hang of it, there's nothing quite like hitting the open American road. Just make sure you have GPS. in a good playlist 3. Tipping isn't optional here. Something travelers often find confusing, tipping is part of life in America. Waiters, bartenders, hotel cleaners, even taxi drivers, they rely on tips, not just as a thank you, but as part of their actual income. So what's standard? Restaurants. 15% to 20% of the bill. Taxis or Ubers, 10% to 15%. Housekeeping or bellhop, $2, $5 per service. Yes, it adds up. But tipping is a sign of respect and appreciation. When you tip well, you're not just giving money, you're spreading kindness. 4. Sales tax will surprise you. You see a price on the tag, $9.99. You walk to the cashier with a $10 bill in your hand, but guess what? The total comes out to $10.69. Why? Sales tax. In most countries, the price you see is the price you pay. In America, it's not that simple. Each state, sometimes even each city, adds its own tax. So keep a little extra in your wallet when shopping. The sticker might lie, but the receipt never does. 5. Don't be afraid to ask. America is a place where people talk. They'll chat with you in elevators. They'll compliment your accent. They'll ask where you're from and tell you about their cousin who once visited. Don't be shy. Ask questions. Ask for help. Most Americans are friendly and eager to assist. It's one of the easiest countries to strike up conversation. And sometimes, a single question can turn into a new friendship. 6. Food portions are. Wow, here's a small warning. Portions in America are big. It's really big. What you think is one meal could easily feed 2 people. So if you're not that hungry, ask for a half portion. Or better yet, share. Don't be embarrassed to ask for a to-go box. It's normal. Also, try local diners, food trucks, and hole-in-the-wall joints. They often serve the best food and the best stories, from Southern barbecue to New York bagels to Midwestern pie. Every bite tells you something about the place you're in. Point 7. Safety, common sense, and local newsies. America is safe. But like anywhere in the world, you need common sense. Don't wander down dark alleys at night. Keep your wallet close in busy areas. Avoid certain neighborhoods if locals advise you to. Also, be aware of the weather. This country has hurricanes, snowstorms, wildfires, and even tornadoes. Check the local forecast. Stay informed. One weather alert can change your entire plan or keep you safe. Point 8. Money. Cards and connectivity. Credit and debit cards are accepted almost everywhere. Cash still useful for tipping or small towns? ATMs are easy to find, but check the fees. As for phones, buy a local SIM card or get an international plan before you land. Wi-Fi is common, but spotty in remote areas. And trust me, you don't want to be lost in the middle of nowhere with no signal and no map? Download offline maps. It's a small move with big peace of mind. 9. The culture is fast. But don't rush things. Move fast in America. People walk fast, talk fast, drive fast. But that doesn't mean you have to rush. Take your time. When you're at a national park, sit in silence. When you're at a cafe, people watch. When you're in a museum, linger a little longer. Magic happens when you slow down. That's when the country begins to show you its soul. Point 10. Travel. Insurance is not just a form. This one's important. Healthcare in America is expensive. Like, shockingly expensive. A simple hospital visit can cost thousands of dollars. You're visiting, get travel insurance? No questions? No exceptions? It's not fear, it's preparation. And it could save you more than money. It could save your whole trip. When most people think of America, they picture the big cities. New York's skyline, Los Angeles' palm-lined streets, Las Vegas at night, San Francisco's bridges. But what if I told you that's not the real America, at least? Not all of it, because tucked away from the noise and the fame, beyond the traffic and the skyscrapers, there's another side of this country. A quieter side. A slower side. A side that feels like time forgot it in the best possible way. This is the America no one talks about. 1. Where silence feels like a story drive out just a little. Leave the cities behind. Suddenly you'll find yourself somewhere different. A dusty gas station with a single pump. Diner that still serves pie like it's 1962. A front porch with a rocking chair. And someone who waves at you just because. You can feel it. It's not loud. It doesn't try to impress. You would just is, and sometimes it's more powerful than all the lights in Times Square, too. The heartbeats of small towns and small towns across America. Life is slower, but the moments are fuller. You'll see kids riding bikes without helmets chasing sunsets. A local barber who knows everyone's name. A family-run store that's been open for 4 generations. Closes on Sundays just because they believe in rest. People here don't rush. They look you in the eye. They say hello, even if they don't know you. There's a kind of soul in these towns. One that doesn't show up in guidebooks. But you'll feel it in your chest if you'll let yourself linger. 3. Roads that heal you ever just drive, without knowing exactly where you're going. That's where America shines. Open road isn't just a route. It's a therapy session with the sky. You'll pass cornfields that stretch endlessly. It's mountains that rise like whispers from the earth. Signs that say, next gas in 120 miles, and suddenly you're more alive than ever. The road teaches you to listen, to notice, to breathe. And in those long stretches of highway where it's just you and the hum of the tires, you might find answers to questions you didn't even know you had. For people with no scripts in big cities, everyone has a story, but they don't always share it out here. Strangers turn into storytellers. They'll tell you about the time a tornado touched down just behind the church, or how their grandmother makes the best peach cobbler in the entire state, or how they've never been outside their county. Somehow they've seen the world through other people's eyes. There's beauty in that, raw, unpolished, beautiful honesty. These people may not have TikToks or travel blogs, but they have truth. If you listen closely, their stories will stay with you longer than any city skyline. 5. The magic of mundane moments will miss it. If you're not careful, the way a kid dribbles a basketball on an empty street, way the sun falls on a red barn at dusk, the creak of a swing set behind a local school. These moments aren't big, they're not loud, but they're real. And sometimes real is exactly what we're all searching for. Not the polished, not the perfect, but the present. 6. Food that feels like home. Forget 5-star restaurants. Here, food is love. You'll walk into a roadside diner, and the waitress will call you hun before you sit down. You'll get pancakes the size of your face, served on chipped plates. Coffee that isn't fancy, but somehow it's exactly what your soul needed. You'll eat fried chicken cooked in cast-iron skillets, macaroni made from family recipes. And pies? Oh, the pies. Every bite carries a memory. Not yours, maybe, but you'll borrow it. And for a little while, it becomes yours too. 7. Where you realize you're small, but not alone. There's a moment. Somewhere on the back roads of America where the sky opens wide, the road stretches out like it has no end, right? And you feel small, but strangely, not in a bad way. You realize the world doesn't revolve around you. That's liberating, because it means there's more to explore, more to learn, more people to meet who live completely different lives, and yet somehow you understand each other. 8. This is the America that changes you. You didn't come here expecting this. You thought you were going to see monuments and museums to snap, photos of bridges and buildings, and you will. But what you'll remember most are these unexpected corners, the hidden roads, the overlooked towns. It's the strangers who became friends for a moment. This is the America that stays with you, quietly, softly, forever. So, before you go, before you pack your bags, before you board that plane, before you step into a country that might feel familiar and yet completely unknown, let's talk about something most travel guides never mention. America might change your travel plans, but more than that, It might change you. Because the truth is, the United States is more than just a destination. It's a mirror, a window, a teacher. You don't just visit America to see it. You visit to feel something, to discover parts of the world and of yourself that you didn't know were missing. One. The world is bigger and smaller than you think in one country. You'll find deserts and snow-covered peaks, jazz clubs and Amish farms, Arabic bakeries next to Mexican taco stands across the street from Korean BBQ joints. It's a mosaic, a living, breathing proof that the world isn't made of walls. It's made of windows. You'll walk through neighborhoods where nobody looks like you, and still, you'll feel at home. You'll meet people whose lives seem completely different. And somehow, you'll find shared laughter. And in those moments, you'll realize the world is bigger than you imagined.
Oh.
But the hearts inside it, they're not that different at all. 2, you'll learn to let go. America moves fast. Loud, messy, unpredictable. And for many travelers, that can be overwhelming. But then something shifts. You stop trying to control the experience, and you start flowing with it. You miss a train, you meet a stranger, you take the wrong exit, you find a waterfall, you get lost, you find something you didn't even know you were looking for. America teaches you to trust the detours, because sometimes they're the real path. Point 3. You'll discover what truly matters. It's easy to be impressed by landmarks, statues, skyscrapers, theme parks, but those won't be the things you carry home. You'll remember the kindness of a cashier who gave you directions, the man on the bench who told you his life story, the quiet moment in the middle of nowhere when the stars were so clear. It felt like the universe was talking just to you. Traveling in America shows you that beauty isn't always designed. Sometimes it's just lived. Point 4. You'll confront yourself. It might surprise you. But travel isn't just about exploring the world. It's about meeting yourself again in a new place. It's under new light. Maybe for the first time in years, you'll feel awake. You'll hear your own thoughts clearly. You'll question things you've believed your whole life. You'll grow quietly, deeply, and without even realizing it. Because when you're far from home, you start to see what home really means. 5. The goodbye won't be easy when your trip ends. It won't feel like you're just leaving a country. It'll feel like you're leaving a chapter of your life. And the strangest thing is, you'll miss the gas stations. You'll miss the long highways. You'll miss the randomness of it all. Because it wasn't just a trip. It was a turning point. It was a reminder that the world is wide, wild, and waiting for you. That you are more than your job, your habits, your comfort zone. You are a traveler now, a seeker, someone who took a leap into the unknown, came back changed.